So the discussion will be load management,
Load management specifically in college football.
college football. So we see load
Considering you're in
management.
Columbus, where the Ohio State is,
Yeah,
Big
Ohio
Ten,
State,
Big Ten is probably the biggest football conference, correct?
in the north. The SEC folks are.
SEC, SEC, SEC.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, it depends. I mean, there's some. Everybody has their own biases. I believe that the SEC is biased against Ohio State, but that's the reigning national champions is here in Columbus. That is true. College football is getting ready. The playoff is getting ready to start here this week,
okay.
and and we've written a lot on the NBA load management strategy
Hmm.
and the reactive strength problem that they're having with Achilles tendons, and we even did a video on who's the guy that just got a reactive strength little tweak.
Giannis.
Yeah, right. So that seems to still be playing out, right? And so what's ended up happening is there's Indiana, and we've worked with people on Indiana staff, right? So have an understanding that the very highly competent staff at
Hmm.
Indiana, very
Hmm.
highly
Hmm.
competent staff at Ohio State, two
Hmm.
staffs that really know what they're doing. Okay,
Certainly.
right. But as soon as you start to bring load, right, you were the one when we were doing the ISM that essentially proposed, hey, to start to constrain intensity, we should have these things called maxims, right? And one of
Yes.
the maxims is load. And load is how you determine, let's say, treatment and training. Okay. But remember, treatment and training are different than programming because programming is how you sequence treatment and training to get you whatever you have intent to get, which is another maxim.
It's true.
See how these make sense, right? Like there's a once you understand it, you're like, this all makes sense. But anyway, so to get back on topic, so what ended up happening here is Ohio State, Indiana, they're both undefeated. Okay.
Okay.
So they finished the regular season undefeated. They play in the Big Ten championship game. Okay.
Which was last weekend or the weekend before?
Last weekend.
Okay.
Last weekend. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
And essentially, but the two different staffs are having different strategies. And I think it's worth noting these strategies, right? Like I have
Hmm.
my own opinion on it, right?
Hmm.
I'm sure you have an opinion on it, but it's
Hmm.
interesting to watch this, right? Because like I said, as soon as you're starting to talk about load management, now we're starting to talk about like, okay, programming. Because what are you
Certainly.
programming? Load, right? Like it
Correct.
doesn't like in the ISM and also like in the learning module, like load is something that we have to understand and how we're leveraging. Like we have to understand load from the football field so that we understand how to load the individuals who are on, right? Like there's a lot of dynamic, chaotic loading on the field. So chances are clinically, we're going to have a lot of static loading,
Certainly. That's right.
right? So like that's why load matters because you start to review through tissues and you're starting to strategically pick things that you're going to invest a lot of your time into, right? Why? So that you can make it through that whole season. I remember
Right.
Louis Simmons would tell me when we were doing some work with sprinters that when you see Usain Bolt run, what you're seeing is him reach acceleration and keep acceleration, and everybody else slowing down relative to him.
I mean,
Okay,
based on like my recollection of his runs, that's what it looked like it was.
right. And so think about that time scale, but now put it over the course of an entire football season. So you're thinking everybody else may slow down, but if I can just hold point B, right? Like we're always
Right,
like we're
right, right, right. Right. So
right.
so performance enhancement then is just get to a level and be able to maintain it. Because you know that
Correct.
probably if there's issues in training and programming and load management, that what everybody else is going to do is going to get to a certain level and then decline.
Correct. Correct. And there is a point in time that, this is more of Olin's topic, right? But there's a point in time where you start to see this show up on film. You start to
Okay.
see, you start to see, hey, this guy who maybe couldn't have started is now playing really good football. Why? Because he's just stayed the same.
Right, 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 right,
Everybody
right,
else is
right,
decreased, right? And now we're getting these guys that were, hey, these are bubble guys, these are late round picks. And now it's like, hey, they're playing. Hey,
right,
they've just won a job, right?
right,
Okay.
right,
And
right.
and Olin already always says the best ability is availability. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Right. So with all this being stated, here's what I want to show you. Okay. This is uh Ohio State's game management. Day is intentionally slowing the pace to preserve players. Okay. So this is load managing from a play calling perspective.
Okay.
He's managing the load, right? Ohio State is averaging 62.4 plays per season, per game this season. By the end, the Buckeyes will have run 86.4 fewer plays than Indiana, one full less game. Okay.
Wow.
So they played Indiana. Okay. So just keep this
Right.
in mind.
Sure.
74 fewer than A&M, 128 fewer than Georgia, 108 Ole Miss, 63, right? So he's strategically pacing the season, essentially building a bye week into the schedule. Load management, fresh legs for the college football run. Okay. So so you
So,
can see, yeah,
yeah,
go
go
on.
ahead. No, no, you go ahead.
So you can see that there's some sort of strategy that's going on. Okay. Right now on Absolute, on our Instagram, we follow the strength coach for we know him. We follow the strength coach for Indiana. Okay. And Paul sent me an interesting text. Okay. And he posted, and maybe we'll reach out, but he posted, I'm trying to find it. He posted this, the availability tracker, and it lists
Indiana at the top.
Indiana at number one. Okay.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you can see we have two different strategies in real time. This is
So
exciting.
just for clarification, that availability tracker where Indiana is number one means that they have more of their top players available more frequently compared to everybody else.
Correct. And they're playing almost a full game more.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Therefore, higher probability for success for the team.